Awesome. Yay. Okay. So for those of us were you going to drop off, Nick? All right. There we go. Very good. For the rest of us, let's go ahead and put our password into the chat, or speak it if you like. Thank you, everyone. Awesome. A little bit of provenance for this week. You heard what I had to say to Sarah, but I did want to put a little bit more context around the mansion that we are visiting. If there is an emotional core to the universe, this is it. This mansion is where oh, we have another latecomer. Catherine, are you a newcomer to the series? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Catherine?
Sorry, I just joined in. I accidentally did the mic.
And no, that's okay. Catherine, are you new to this series?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I went ahead and closed. I have no means of closing the classroom, but I am choosing to close the classroom on the people who are already here. Just so that you know, there's a reason for that, and that's not to exclude you or single you out. The class started at 7:30, and the material is part of a series. So this is the 8th class in the series, and the material is cumulative against the very first of the recordings for this class. If you would like to continue or revisit this class in the future, I would ask that you go back to the YouTube channel for the class and go ahead and audit and do the work for the first classes in the series that you've missed. At the very least, the very first one. I would have to do a lot of backfill at this point in the class. We're about to actually dive into astral and meditative work. And I would have to hold up the course of the entire class to bring you up to speed.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. We look forward to seeing you in the future.
Okay, have a great class. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Catherine. You bet. Okay, so if there is an emotional core center, and think of this as like, if we were to imagine the emotional core, I think the best way to do that would be to imagine that there were a part in the deepest part of the ocean, a pipe that runs all the way down to the core of the magma of the earth of water. And imagine that every molecule of that water is emotional in its physical being and structure. And for us to plumb the depths that is Netzak, we would have to get into some kind of protective encounter suit that maintains internal pressure, or we would explode, right, at the depth of the anywhere near getting close to the bottom of this pipe going to the center of the earth of water. This is the power and the weight of the emotional force. And I can't link this strong enough with actual water. As a matter of fact, water itself, influenced by the moon, creates tides, creates structures across this entire planet. It carves everything from mountains to valleys to the craters at the bottom of the ocean. It itself houses living beings that we will never be able to physically see, explore, or understand. There are types of life already discovered near the sea floor, not inside the trenches, right? There are several trenches that actually are like tectonic joinings across the planet that do vent magma, where water actually does go all the way down to the liquid core underneath the hard carapace that surrounds this planet, right? Not all the way to the iron core, but certainly to the mantle, to the magma, and goes all the way down to there with water that is creating steam like funnels that actually emerge all the way to the surface and are absorbed. It's part of what the breaking apart of that molecule is part of what actually generates a great deal of the oxygen in the deep sea. So this metaphor of water being in essence very similar to emotion and the emotional core of the universe can't be stretched too far. It doesn't even go far enough to kind of explain it. Emotions are overwhelming in even the slightest of agitation. Love is akin to a madness. Madness is akin to hatred. Hatred is, and these two antipodes of the most violent response and the most desperate, loving, deep needing response, all hide a depth of stillness and an absoluteness of presence that itself is a tangible emotion. And anyone who's had a long-standing relationship with someone, either a child or a partner, understands that deep, silent love. So Netzak, we are just going to be on the boat, folks. We are not diving in the water. Is that understood? Please say yes.
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 Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. 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 Possum. I'm so glad. Okay, I think we have a few more people to check in with their assent to not diving in the water. I'm a mermaid. Well, Maddie, please, not this water.
I promise no water.
Awesome, very good. We're going to stay on the boat today. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Okay. So I would love for you, as always, to please take a look on the spreadsheet. The meditations for this week are themselves quite deep and beautiful and will lead to internal questioning and dialogue that are fruitful spiritually for any pursuer of magic of any kind. And if you have questions about them, of course, please, as always, do ask me. This Cyan node is Netzak. As you can see, it has 5 paths. So we're dealing with a little bit different situation than we've had before. One of those paths is going to go straight down from our presence that will feel like straight up. So we've experienced that before in the Black Tower, where up was down and down was up. In this sense, Netzak has a pipe that goes up away from the emotional core and towards the manifest. That's the rainbow. It's really going to be quite beautiful and delicious because we're literally going to be looking at a rainbow sky that itself is one of our doors, and we will eventually go through the rainbow sky to the physical manifest, Malkuth, but not today. As always, we're going to go ahead and start with a node that we have already been in. So we're going to journey again to Tiferet, and from Tiferet, we're going to take the Cyan portal and get ourselves into Netzak. We're going to be meeting a new guide today named Haniel. Haniel. Say it for yourself in your own head. Haniel. Haniel, as always, is going to mirror in dress and appearance cyan color. The really unique feature about Haniel is Haniel appears almost feminine and nonstop weeps, just weeping, weeping, weeping. The ocean itself that we are going to be visiting is composed of the salt tears of Haniel. They are tears not just of pain, they're tears of joy, tears of wonder, tears of awe, and tears of shock. The most significant feature that we'll see on our journey will be the tower with the eye. We will never go to this tower. We'll never get to this tower. The tower itself is far too far from our consciousness to ever get to, but we will see it. It will appear to hold up the rainbow sky, almost like a tent over our heads. Okay. That said, Haniel is very beautiful, and yeah. So let's get there. Let's start it out. Get yourself in a comfortable place. And take a look at the beautiful fractal, the green fractal. And let's remember our own place in Tiferet. We're going to approach it a little bit differently today. Today, we're going to use our self to launch into self. So what I would love for you to do is take that green pattern and make it about the size of your thumbnail, and bring it in your imagination directly into the center of your heart. almost like a sine wave, a transmission, an energetic field, almost like a magnetic pattern, green on green on green, living at the very core of your heart. And it has not only awareness, which sees self, selfhood, which sees recognition of self and selfhood, but it is driven and amplified by the power of a beating and loving heart, your own. And when you feel a connection to that beating heart with what the Vedanta what the Vedic scripts call the bee in the heart of the lotus, the bee being selfhood, self-awareness, and love, a connection to God's soul and Godhood. When you feel that green thumbnail-sized transmission in your heart's center, expand it to fill your vision, your consciousness, the room around you, the house you're sitting in, the block your house is on, the neighborhood your block is on, the town your neighborhood is in. And as the wave expands, it simply is Tiferet. You are already standing at its center. And when you're surrounded by green and have become green, and the ground is green, and the house is green, and the block, and the neighborhood, and the town, breathe it in. Your exhale is green. Your inhale is green. Your own hands and hair, your body and clothes are green. Your furniture is green. The trees and sky, animals, friends, all. And now, only now, the recognition of selfhood expands. And when you have fully invoked Tiferet, say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Now that you're here, Mikael is present. Take time to greet each other. as Mikhail becomes more solid, more real to you. The rest of the world falls away, and there is only the green. And you begin to feel the portals, the doorways. Above you is the white lotus of Kether. Below you is the magenta moon that is Yesod. And to the four corners, the red sword. The blue throne. The yellow, mercurial, swirling puddle of light that is yellow. And now you can see that the Cyan directly ahead of you is a well, and in the well is a pool of water that is also cyan. And when you're ready to walk over to that well, say yes.
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 At the edge of the well, you see, like any other dipping well, that there is a wall, a green stone wall with green mortar, which is about as high as your knee. The well itself is quite large. You, lying on your back, in the center of it, would not be able to touch with your feet or your hands the wall that encloses the well. Reach out and touch the wall. Feel its solidness. Mikhail is waiting for you. He knows what to do. He's going to put you in his palm, the palm of his hand. And he's going to set you down on a ship in that well. It will feel as if you're shrinking and getting smaller and smaller, when in fact he is merely lowering you. When you're ready to step into Mikhail's hand, say yes.
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 Mikhail lays his hand palm down on the ground. Step onto his fingers and sit down in his palm. As he lifts you, you begin to see scale. And now you know that the wall that you were touching is in fact infinitely large. as he lowers you and leans over the wall. He merely has to extend his hand and down, 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 down. Down we go to the water. Allow yourself to see as the pool becomes an ocean, as the ocean becomes a world, as the world itself expands. Now the hand is passing through clouds. You see blue cyan birds passing in flocks and groups. You see other flying things, balloons, dirigibles. There are ships on the surface of the ocean below, some of them so enormous that they're the size of continents, cities, islands. There are also floating beings, gentle, moist, almost like jellyfish, moving through this humid air. As you get lower and lower, you can smell the salt of the ocean. You can taste it as you swallow. Breathe in deep as the air itself becomes saturated. And as you exhale, you see that in fact there's a gentle fog of moisture. And when you exhale, it moves it in swirls and eddies. The fog itself, as it clears, becomes normalized. You can see below a ship rising up. First, you see the stack, then the flags, then the railing, and Mikhail's hand comes to a stop on the cyan boards of the SS Netzak, a cruise ship. You're on the top deck where the bar and the pool are. There's laughter everywhere, children running and playing. The ocean itself is moving in a direction that appears to be sideways from the direction of the ship. If you look in the direction that the waves are moving, excuse me, you will see a giant white tower that extends from the water on the horizon all the way into the sky, which now, as you look up, is like a rainbow. Every color refracted through the moisture of this air to create a dancing, scintillating light. that is all color. And the colors themselves are reflected on the skin of the people around you, on the lights and the glass of the ship and its windows, on the hair of the barkeep, on the reflective clothing of the mothers and dads running after the children, or diving into the pool, or playing bocce ball. When you are solidly on the deck of the ship and you can see the tower and the rainbow, say the word yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
From underneath the deck, there's a stairwell that leads up, and it goes to the captain's quarters. Haniel walks out and down the stairs with a clipboard with your name on it, and comes to greet you and welcome you, and to show you the ship and all things that the ship has to offer, and all of the activities available on the ship. Take time to greet and hear Haniel. There are excursions available for all. You can go diving in these waters, though they will not guarantee your safety. You can hang glide, and you can fly, and you can parasail. You can do all the things that you would imagine in a water resort that you should be able to do, but they will not guarantee your safety. Haniel leads you down below decks to the movie room, where eternally playing on the screen is your own life. From your perspective and everyone's perspective, you knew, touched, saw, loved, talked to, learned from, worked for. The audience laughs and cries with you. There is the table, the banquet table in the banquet room, where all things, all stories are woven to explain our lives, our emotions. They're shared. All truths and lies are here. being exchanged, almost like currency between passengers. And below that are the play decks. There's racquetball, tennis, chess. There's a library. Below that is the engine room, driven by fury, love, and passion in a nuclear reactor, glowing blue. And below that is the glass bottom of the boat. Below you, creatures that were born before Earth. Creatures we only call names like Leviathan, Tiamat, Naga, giant serpents of the sea. Some of them 1,000 times the size of this ship. Swim in schools below. Haniel invites you to lie down, face down on the glass bottom of the boat and relax. When you're ready to do that, say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Lie down. Feel the cool of the glass against your skin. Blue, so blue. The glass bottom bows down slightly so that if you turn your head to one side, you can see past the boat underwater. If you turn your head to the other side, you can see past the edge of the boat underwater. In the water, you see that the tower you saw above continues down as deep as you can see. And the creatures are so numerous that they're like stars in the night sky. The water itself glows with a scintillating light, as if it itself is a light source, and its movements, its currents, are lit in waves of deeper blue that move through like a network or webwork of lighted spaces. And you can see these lights as they move across the bodies of the creatures, some of them quite beautiful, some of them half plant, half animal, some of them definitely fish. There are hunters and hunted. All things eat of each other here. and all things breathe the salt water tears of Haniel. Haniel helps you up, helps you to stand again. When you're standing again and ready to go to the room of doors, say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Haniel takes you back up. You pass, of course, the banquet room, the movie room, the playrooms. You pass the beautiful engine room, glowing, humming. You get back to the top deck with the pool and the children. And this time he takes you up the stairs to the captain's quarters, where the beautiful wheel that steers this ship is. As you walk into the room, it's much more modern than you would imagine. There are computers and screens. There's a large glass wall with blue graphics projected on it that show position, speed, wind, water. The wheel itself is very old-fashioned and beautifully spoked, but large. So large that you would have to reach up to grab the top spokes, to turn it. And the captain is seated behind a desk, overlooking the front of the boat and the water ahead. He gives orders, and his crew follows them. He leads you to his back room, where his private quarters are. Haniel is with you. In a separate space are the doors. Above you is an open sky and a skylight. You can see the rainbow. And arrayed around you are a series of doors. One that goes back to Tiferet, which is quite beautifully green. And you recognize it, and it recognizes you. One of the doors is deep dark blue and has the graphic carved in it of your throne of crystal in Kesed. One of the doors is exactly what you know, the beautiful yellow, molten mercury, moving and swirling. One of the doors is magenta and feels sleepy, amorphous, almost hallucinatory. Have a seat in the chair that the captain offers you. It's the captain's chair. It's an honored place. Haniel stands behind you, places his hands on your shoulders, massages your temples, touches your face. You can feel Haniel's tears, warm and wet, as they drip on your head and fall onto your ears and pour over your forehead. And they feel like tears of forgiveness, of love. Full of all of the complex emotions that love is an umbrella for. As they wash over you, you yourself become more blue. If the tears fall near your mouth, you want to lick them. You want to touch them. This is the meaning of anointed. Those who are anointed have a special place in the universe. To smear yourself with these tears stains your skin cyan and anoints you. Look at your hands, covered in tears. Will you laugh? Will you cry? Will you scream? Will you go mad? Will you find the stillness of perfect presence? Will you have all of them? Share what you feel with Haniel. He will take all things that you offer him. When you're done, say yes.
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 Look down between your feet. There is an old-fashioned drain and plug. When you say it, when you see the plug clearly, say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Reach reach down firmly and grab the chain and pull the plug. Close your eyes and relax into the chair, the captain's chair, and allow the water to drain. Close your eyes and feel your own weight. As your weight becomes heavier and more real, now that you are not buoyant in water, just like a bathtub. You can even hear the slurping sound of the beautiful little water vortex that forms. When you open your eyes, you will be in your body, in the place that you are. You will remember everything that you shared and experienced. Open your eyes and breathe normally. Move your fingers and your toes. And when you are fully present again, say the word yes.
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 Tonight's sigil will have 7 lives.
Did you say 7, Shen Tat?
7, that's correct.
Oh, wow.
I think that means. Yeah, it was intense. Intense. Part of what I'm asking for in this sigil is a deeper understanding of what offering I should make to Poseidon when I'm standing in Poseidon's temple on vacation.
It almost makes me want to think of like one of those creatures in the sea.
Okay, let's see. Who is this? This is Rains. Let's see if we can get this done.
Oh, Rain, I love that.
I love it. I love it. It's so beautiful. It almost looks like this beautiful dancing figure in the waves.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. You can almost kind of get that whole like all the water at the bottom's washing out and she's coming out from the middle type vibe.
Rising. Yeah,
Yeah.
rising from it. Yeah, which is the part that I really loved about yours is that it really encapsulates that sense of rising out of it. And then this one is Honey Songs, again with the beautiful waves. I love the juxtaposition of the crossed figure with this beautiful, like
Yeah.
floating, almost angelic flying figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I try to show mine on video? Because I have no idea how to send it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. These are all so awesome.
Hey, Shen Tat, I'm gonna share mine. Here you go.
On video. Yeah. Again, very interesting how you love the like the almost like emerging outward. It's really beautiful.
So you know what? I was telling Maddie about it. I had that like seasickness, like nausea feeling, and
When you were on the ship.
yeah, but the weird part is like it was between the rocking and then I don't know if I'm struggling with it somehow, but like all the energy from everybody, it's like I can hear all the voices that they have going on in their heads right now. And it's like it's like, holy cow. You know, it's hard. It's hard to like
Netzak, the one of the keynotes of Netzak is a sense of overwhelmedness,
okay.
of being like washed over and washed over and washed over and having zero control, and of that sense of the too muchness of it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, because I've been struggling with that a little bit with all of the classes where I'm like embracing everybody's energies and I'm trying not to. So I tried to like calm it down somehow today. But tonight
that's the nature of
it didn't work. It
Yeah.
just said, screw that, you're not having it.
Well, and all things through this emotional core are connected to, just like with water, all water communicates with all other water in the world.
Yeah.
All emotion communicates with all emotion. And which is why it's overwhelming and why I encouraged everyone to stay on the boat.
Right.
Stay on
Yeah.
the boat.
No, I stayed on the
I
boat.
did so good.
Yeah. I definitely stayed on the boat. But I think maybe because I'm a water sign too, it had a factor into it?
Could be, could be.
Okay, well, thank you. And
Yeah,
everything
of
was
course.
lovely. Very lovely.
Good, 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 good. Awesome. Great work. Can't wait to hear about your castings. I hope that they are equally as powerful as these show them to be. They're absolutely dynamite and lovely and powerful and eerie and everything that I would ever hope from a really great sigil to do awesome working.
Show mine on video. My messaging is not working.
Yeah, 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 please do.
Okay. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn it around.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. That's mine.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. It almost looks like a navigation tool.
It's awesome. It's beautiful. Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah. And I think it's really interesting how like you have gotten really beautiful work with the feet on the lines where they're like dots that continue the course of the line, or the beautiful arrow work on the feet. It's just gorgeous. These are all very compelling, very beautiful. They will be incredibly easy to cast. And yeah, it's just almost looks like a spear head, that one. It's just so beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Really awesome work. Yes, amazing job, everyone. And thank you again for an awesome class. I know that we went late. I'm sorry. But
No, not at all, not at all.
good, good, good. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we all know the password for next week is Haniel. And yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop the share, and I will terminate the recording. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next week. Remember, next week, and then there'll be a small break.
Night.
Nice.